Yo, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our video installment. All right, guys, what a great win for the Detroit Lions on yesterday. The Lions win against the Washington Commanders. Final score 36-27. And definitely, man, I made a video on St. Brown having a prime season this season, and it looks like that's going to come to fruition. This kid is out there balling, and I love everything that St. Brown is doing, man, and what he's bringing to the table. You know, he's pretty much the security blanket for Jared Goff, and we got to kind of get Chark going a little bit. I think that he had a couple drops in the game, but we definitely got to get Chark going. I think when Jameson Williams come back, man, this offense is going to be electrifying. It's probably going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. Even with the Lions missing a couple key players on the offensive line, they were still able to do what they needed to do to get the victory, with Evan Brown stepping in and a couple other guys stepping in on the line. These guys never missed a beat, and they pretty much did well today. I don't remember Jared Goff getting sacked. He might have got sacked. I don't think that he did. And if he didn't get sacked, man, what a great thing for the offensive line to be able to make sure that Jared Goff had a solid performance on today. And Jared Goff definitely balled out, so I want to give a shout out to him too as well. I believe Goff had 4 touchdown passes in this game, so definitely, man. But if I had to give a game ball to anybody, the game ball is going to be the St. Brown and Aidan Hutchinson. Aidan Hutchinson was getting a lot of slack from a lot of people, from some fans calling this guy a bust, and just didn't think that he had what it takes. And Aidan Hutchinson shows you, that's why you got to be patient, man. You just can't be fast to call players a bust and things of that nature when it's only been one game. We got to kind of slow down with that, calling players bust when they haven't, had a fair shake. And Hutchinson went out there and delivered on today. I know last week a lot of people was looking at what Trayvon Walker did. Trayvon Walker had 1 sack, and he also had an interception last week. And it looks like these two are going to be battling to be the defensive player of the year for the rookies. But definitely what a great game for Aidan Hutchinson. 3 sacks in the first half, and he was out there balling. He got a sack, I believe, got a push up the middle. He got a sack, and he got a couple sacks on the outside. So Aidan Hutchinson is proving that he can do it all, man. He can play on the inside and the outside, and it's really, really showing. And if the Lions can get better defensively, it's going to make this team a lot better. That's the number one thing for the Lions, just getting better defensively. A person had an interception today that you didn't even think that would have an interception, and that was Will Harris, man. Shout out to Will Harris, who definitely gets hounded by the Detroit Lions fans and by myself as well, for sometimes his performances on the field. But he stepped up today, and you got to show a player love when he steps up. Will Harris, definitely shout out to him for being able to get an interception on today, because last week I know he was kind of embarrassed by that 50-yard catch that he allowed A.J. Brown to get. But this week he steps up and redeems himself and gets an interception. So shout out to Will Harris. But definitely, man, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the real deal. This kid was taken in the 4th round and definitely was a steal for the Detroit Lions. And he lets you know every day, because not only by his play, but by the way he carries himself and the way he handles things out on that football field. This kid is the real deal, man. St. Brown had 184 yards from the line of scrimmage. He tied Antonio Brown and Michael Thomas with 8 games with 8 catches consecutively. He's the 3rd player in NFL history to ever do that. Not even Calvin Johnson, who was one of the Lions' best receivers all time. Definitely between him and Herman Moore, because Herman Moore, I believe, has 3 All-Pros with the Lions as well as Calvin Johnson has 3 All-Pros with the Lions. So definitely, man, shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown for just being a baller, man, and going out there and playing and giving it his all. Love the way that the Lions feature him, man. Today, they allowed him to run the ball. He had 2 carries, and one of them went for a big gain. He ended up with 68 yards on the ground, and he ended up catching, I believe, 9 passes for 116 yards with 2 TD scores. So shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown, man, for just going out there and balling and just doing his thing, man. What a dominant performance by St. Brown and Hutchinson. You did not know when these guys would show up, but when they showed up, they showed out. And that's the only thing that you can ask for being a Detroit Lions fan, because you don't know. You know, when you're a Detroit Lions fan, the season is like a roller coaster. Sometimes it has its lows, and then sometimes it has its highs. And for those guys to go out there and perform the way that they did today, man, that's definitely something that Detroit needed, because I thought that that the Lions would probably end up losing this game in the fourth quarter some kind of way, because pretty much the Commanders, they were down, man. You know, the Lions had those guys down 22-0, and they were able to come back up and climb back into the game. And the Lions ultimately ended up winning the game 36-27. But these Commanders, they was fighting, man. It was a tough game for the Lions to finish it out, but they finally found a way on how to close football games out. Now, next week, it's going to be a real tough challenge for the Detroit Lions going against the Vikings. But how you look at it, any given Sunday, any team can lose. If the Lions come in there and their offense is moving the ball the way that they've been moving the ball lately, then the Lions may have a chance. But the defense is going to have to step up, because you're going to have to stop Mr. Giddy himself, Justin Jefferson. You're going to have to stop them receivers, Dalvin Cook, and as well as Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne, and the rest of the guys that they got over there, Rieger at receiver. You're going to have to slow down their receivers, because they do got one of the best receiving corps in the NFC North. So that's going to be a challenge for the Lions going into next week, to be able to slow down the Minnesota Vikings. Plus, I think they got to go to Minnesota too as well. So that's not going to be an easy game for the Lions. But I think if the Lions continue to play the way that they're playing and continue to feed off each other and understand that it's all about playing good defense and making key stops in the game, then I think that ultimately the Lions will stand some type of chance, because their offense is potent. And I can't wait to see Jameson Williams comes back, because when he comes back, man, this team is going to terrorize a lot of teams. If DeAndre Swift can stay healthy, because I know coming into this game he was nursing like a ankle injury and stuff like that. But if Swift can stay healthy and the rest of these guys can stay healthy, Hawkinson and everybody else can stay healthy, man, then the Lions will stand a chance because of this offense that they have. This offense is definitely potent. I think the Detroit Lions currently is one of the top offenses in the NFL right now. We just got to be able to stop people. That's the key thing for the Lions, being able to stop people and getting the key stops in the game. And I think once they start doing that, then skies is going to be the limit for the Detroit Lions. There's nothing going to be able to stop this team from heading forward, because in year two, you want to see these guys get better. You ultimately want to see them win at least 7 games or more. You know, I can't predict what's going to happen with their season, but only thing I know is I want to see these guys continue to go out there, continue to fight, and be in every game. That's the only thing you can ask for, man. You know, because we don't know what's really going to happen with this football team this year. Maybe they could slide into the playoffs. You never know, but they're going to have to play some excellent football, and they're going to have to get better defensively. And I think if they start getting like guys like Levi back and Josh Pascal, the team is going to get a lot better. I think that Malcolm Rodriguez will get better as being a young rookie linebacker. And then I definitely think that if the Lions want to add some talent at linebacker, they could do that still. So I don't know if they're going to do it, because it doesn't look like they're going to do it. It looks like they're going to roll with the linebackers that they have on the team, but you never know. They could switch it up. So happy for those Lions, man, to finally go out there and get a victory and do the things that they need to do to continue to be a team that's growing. As long as they continue to grow, as long as they continue to do the things that they need to do to win football games, then nothing else really matters. So definitely, man, shout out to the Detroit Lions for getting a victory on yesterday, 36-27 over the Washington Commanders. So, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do not miss an upload, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. I am out of here, guys. Until next time, peace.